was full of magic. Over time, magic faded away. But I hope
There's a little magic left in you. It's from your dad.
this brings him back. This Friday.
Dad?
Oh, it's just legs!
We've only got 24 hours to bring the rest of him back.
Put it in all for Onward!
Whatever it takes, I am gonna meet my dad.
Onward is an emotional roller coaster that proves just how high the standard for storytelling is for Pixar. So what could the plot of the second film follow? Our theory is that Ian will meet some famous magicians in the second installment. Without any further ado, here's what we know so far about Onward 2. Enjoy the video, guys! While receiving a lot of praise from critics, Onward never got the same level of appreciation as other Pixar animated films, and we really think this animated magical journey deserved more. A narrative that follows two brothers in search of their dad's half-body, well, sounds really complicated if you haven't seen the movie yet. If you have, then you perfectly know what we're talking about. Now, to be more precise, Onward follows the story of two teenage elf brothers, Ian Lightfoot and Barley Lightfoot, both different in personality and looks. They try to bring their late father back to life with a spell, but to their surprise, the spell is incomplete, so they can only see the bottom half of their father's body. They go on a search for a spell that will bring their dad's other half, and they will spend 24 hours with him before he disappears forever. We've mentioned before that Onward was an emotional roller coaster. Short before the film's closing moments, we all shed a tear or two, and that's because Pixar knows how to touch their viewers' hearts. Now, without any further ado, let's see if Onward 2 is happening. Sadly, a sequel to Onward is yet to be greenlighted. So far, there hasn't been any official statements regarding a sequel. The continuation of Onward will have to be greenlighted by Pixar Animation Studios and Disney-owned animation outlet, Walt Disney Animation Studios. The thing is, both companies have decided not to focus a lot on sequels and bring more original animated movies in the future. But fans are not happy with this decision. It's not like Onward can't continue its story, because there are plenty of possibilities for Onward to be expanded. Potential release date. If fans are treated with a continuation to Onward, they shouldn't expect to see the sequel soon. Pixar spends a lot of time developing their movies, hence we rarely see a bad Pixar animation. For instance, when you see Onward, you can't help but notice how much attention to detail was put into the film, in every aspect. It took Pixar over a decade for a third Toy Story film, and there's also a big gap between The Incredibles and Incredibles 2. Based on this, we should expect a sequel to Onward in about, 10 years. If Pixar decides to put Onward on their priority list, that way we can see the sequel in about maybe 5 years. This is clearly sad, but when you think about it, Pixar focuses on quality, and because of that, the wait would be worth it. Now we have a question for you. A lot of people claim that the quality of Pixar movies is declining these last few years. In your opinion, is this true? Let us know down in the comments. Post-credit scene? So is there a post-credit scene to Onward that confirms a sequel? With a lot of sequels created before 2020, Pixar was criticized for lack of originality, and just when we thought we're about to hear that The Incredibles 10 is under development. Pixar released 2 original stories in 2020, Onward and Soul, directed by Dan Scanlon, who also worked on the script with Jason Headley and Keith Boonen. Onward has quite an Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Octavia Spencer, with Julia voicing the boy's mother and Octavia voicing the manticore. As previously mentioned, Onward follows Ian and Barley Lightfoot, who are given a wizard's equipment from their father, who unfortunately lost his life when the boys were quite young. Hence, they never really got to meet their father. When a spell to bring their dad back to life for a day goes wrong, the dad appears only with his legs. The boys go to search for a solution. As always, Pixar goes very deep with its plot and sends a very strong message at the end of the film. For those of you who went to theaters to watch Onward, you might be wondering if there are any credit scenes you've missed. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but Onward does not have a post-credit scene. Pixar is never certain about credit scenes, so we never know where to expect one. 2019's Toy Story 4 had a couple of credit scenes, but 2018's Incredibles 2 didn't feature any of them. The film's ending closes the arc of Ian and Barley's journey as the two move on from their father's death. Ian clearly understands that even though he never had a father in his life, he always had Barley beside him. He also realizes how important it is for Barley to meet his father and have a proper goodbye. The fact that Onward is still getting praise from critics is enough, for now, to expect a sequel in the future, even if it takes a decade for Pixar to develop a continuation. That said, we hope Pixar would put Onward 2 on their priority list. While the first film doesn't have a post-credit scene, it has one of the most beautiful endings. After the arc with the boy's father is complete, Onward continues the story with the brothers back home. At the very end, Ian is not so anxious anymore as he has friends, speaks up, and most importantly, is not ashamed of being seen as his older brother. Number 2 cast. As we previously said, writer-director Dan Scanlon co-wrote and directed Pixar's Onward. During the D23 Expo presentation in Anaheim, Scanlon said that Onward is actually based on his own experience. "My brother and I lost our father at a young age, and I've always wondered who my dad was and how I would like him," he said. Those questions became the roadmap for this film. Octavia Spencer, Mel Rodriguez, Ali Wong, and Lena Waithe lead their voices to characters in the film. Spencer plays the manticore named Corey, while Rodriguez, Wong, and Waithe play police officers. Ian Lightfoot is the lead character in Onward, with Tom Holland lending the voice. Holland is mostly known as Peter Parker or Spider-Man in Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, and Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Octavia Spencer, Ali Wong, Lena Waithe, and Mel Rodriguez are all expected to come back for the potential sequel. Now, there are a lot of fan-made theories regarding the plot of Onward's continuation. Let's dive into some of them, shall we? Number 2, potential plot. The ending of Onward seems to suggest that the story about the brother's dad is all wrapped up. However, because of Onward's extensive universe, it's easy to imagine more adventures. First of all, Ian discovers his magical potential in adventures. He also given the wizard's name, Wild and the Whimsical, by his father. The film proves that a lot has been changed for the citizens, and that's more than enough for the story to be continued. The sequel to Onward could be easily made and see the brothers on another exciting adventure. Maybe we'll see Ian meeting with some famous magicians. As we previously said, the first film is based on director Dan Scanlon's own experience, so the second film could show off more of his life. That would be interesting to see, right? While it is not confirmed that a sequel to Onward is happening anytime soon, we know that the creators are open to the idea. We should also mention that all of Pixar's upcoming films until 2023 are originals. So just like we previously mentioned, it could take Pixar 10 or in the best case 5 years to produce a sequel to Onward. To note, do you guys think Onward deserves a sequel? Also, what was your favorite thing about Onward? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our videos, thanks for watching.
Long ago, the world was full of magic. Over time, magic faded away. But I hope there's a little magic left
In you. It's from your dad.
This brings him back.
Dad?
No, it's just legs!
We've only got 24 hours to bring the rest of him back.
Put in an O for Onward!
Whatever it takes, I am gonna meet my dad.
Disney and Pixar's Onward. Rated PG. Friday.